As you know, your final project, Part 1, is due this week. I would encourage you to click on the Course Information tab in your navigation bar and then on Assignment Guidelines and Rubrics. Here, if you scroll down, you'll find a link to the Final Project Part 1 document. There's also a link to the submission template, which I would encourage you to take a look at, along with the exemplar that's available to you in the Module 5. But let's take a look at the Final Project Part 1 document. This document contains an overview of the project, the official prompt, a description of the milestones, and then the Final Project Part 1 rubric. Now, I know it looks like a lot of content, but don't worry, we're going to break it down and you're going to see that most of this is work you've already completed. So let's start with the overview. This is information that for the most part you already know, that you've been named the marketing director of a large pet supply company, that you're launching a new pet food line, that it's for both cats and dogs, and talks about the two milestones which you've already created, Milestone 1 and Milestone 2. So really this is just a reminder of the role that you're playing and the project. Then we move on to the prompt. This is where we get into exactly what you need to do. And when you look at the template, you'll see that it follows a similar pattern. So Final Project Part 1 needs to be a written document, 2 to 4 pages in length using APA formatting. And I would encourage you to please use the template that's been provided because it not only is already structured in APA formatting in terms of the right font and size and spacing, but it also provides you prompts and guided questions to help you along the way. So let's get into specifically what you need to do. There's two parts to this. The first we call the initial overview, and you'll see this is broken down into two areas. The first is market factors, which as you start to read through, you'll realize is the work that you did for Milestone 1. The second is the target market analysis, which of course is the work that you did for Milestone 2. So while you may need to make some tweaks or some wording changes, the content for this entire first section is already been created by you and looked at by me. And so you can include it as is or with those minor tweaks and changes as you see fit. The second part of this paper is where you're going to be creating new content this week. That's the marketing strategy section. Here, I'm looking for you to identify the most important marketing strategies that you recommend that the company could use. Many of you have already gotten a head start on this, talking about it either in your discussion post or in your Milestone 2 paper. You're going to explain why you've chosen them and then outline the 4 Ps, the price, place, promotion, and product for each of the strategies you've identified. And you'll talk about how you can use those 4 Ps in your strategy. Then you're going to identify one marketing strategy that you recommend that your company avoid and explain why. And again, outline the 4 Ps for the strategy that you're not recommending. The next section just goes over the milestones. You don't even need to worry about that. The last part is the rubric, which I know is definitely long. However, if you look at it, the first several squares are going over your SWOT analysis and then over your target market. These are very similar to what you saw in the Milestone 1 and Milestone 2. The last few boxes on this page have to do with that second piece around marketing strategy. So the identification of strategies, how you're using the 4 Ps, the strategies to avoid, and then the strategies that you're not recommending as per the 4 Ps. Finally is your articulation of response, which you're going to see on just about every rubric here at SNHU. So that's this document in a nutshell. I would encourage you to take a look at it. This rubric, certainly, this is exactly how your paper will be graded. This is what I will be looking for in terms of how I'm going to be scoring your paper. So please take a look at this and let me know if you have any questions.